Like most of these adventures, it begins with a long flight. From home in Seattle, we fly to Frankfurt and then on to Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia. We check into the Sheraton Addis and try to get acclimated to the altitude and the time zone. But the adventure really starts in the Simien Mountains. We fly from Addis to Gondar, where we meet our drivers who take us to the Simien Mountains. Heading north from Gondar, the landscape is really rough. To understand Ethiopia, we must start at the beginning, 75 million years ago. Tectonic forces pushed the Ethiopian highlands up. Then 30 million years ago, volcanoes flooded the area with lava flows. Then tectonic plates moved apart, creating the Red Sea, the Gulf of Aden, and the Rift Valley, and leaving the Ethiopian highlands ranging in elevation from 5,000 to 15,000 feet, thus the name the Roof of Africa. We eventually arrive at the Lima Limo Lodge. The newest of only 2 lodges in the national park, we have a view of the Smoky Valley below. The area has been inhabited and cultivated for at least 2,000 years. Barley and wheat fields line one side of the road through the park. On the other are alpine forests and meadows, and the 3,000-foot escarpment. Because of the rugged landscape, animal populations have become isolated and evolved into species that exist nowhere else. The Simien Mountains are famous for the Gelada baboon, which is not a baboon at all, but an old world monkey. One amazing thing about geladas is how approachable they are. The strategy is to see which way the herd is heading and find a place to sit and let them surround you. Geladas are the only primates that are primarily grazers. Grass makes up 90% of their diet, but they'll also eat flowers, roots, and rhizomes when they're available. During the day, the geladas socialize and graze. At sundown, they head over the cliff to find a safe place to sleep. Geladas have a complex, multi-level society. The basic unit is the harem, with up to 12 females, their young, and 1 to 4 males. Bands can form with up to 27 harems and several all-male bachelor groups. Both males and females will exhibit an aggressive posture by curling their upper lip and displaying some impressive canine teeth. But most of the dust-ups end quickly with a strategic retreat. Infants are carried on the mother's belly for the first 5 weeks. After that, it hitches a ride on her back. Infants move around independently after about 5 months. When herds form, juveniles and infants gather into playgroups. Seeing the Gelada was one of the principal reasons for taking this trip, and the experience exceeded all our expectations. But I have a feeling that Ethiopia holds more pleasant surprises for us. The next morning, we're out exploring more of the park. The largest and most striking feature are the cliffs and the views beyond. Twisted trees attest to the near constant wind. Raptors ride the thermals. We hike down to a viewpoint for a waterfall with a spectacular drop. The raptors nest in these cliffs. The climb back is made all the more difficult by the thin air. We're at 10,500 feet. And plants have evolved uniquely here too. The Abyssinian rose is endemic. White everlasting grow in abundance along the cliff face. Birds have found a niche here too, sometimes to the exclusion of all other locations. But it seems we just can't get enough of the view. This morning, we have ventured further up the park road than we've been before. We're looking for Walia Ibex. Ashu has seen them from this viewpoint before. And there they are, a female and a juvenile. Now we see 4, but Ashu assures us that there'll be better photo opportunities ahead as we get higher. The giant lobelia is the Walia Ibex's favorite food. Not the green part, which is poisonous, but the dead brown leaves. We're at over 12,000 feet now, and Ashu points to a male and female ibex on the top of the hill. Once we know what we're looking for, we see more ibex. It's estimated that there's only about 500 ibex in the world, and they're concentrated here in the Simien Mountains. The males weigh up to 280 pounds, and their horns can be 43 inches long. It's time to leave the cars and the road and track a large male ibex. Did I mention that we are now at 14,000 feet? That's Ras Dashen, the highest mountain in Ethiopia, at 14,930. He tried to hide in the shadows, but we finally caught up with him and breathlessly took these pictures before he bounded away. On the way back down, we spotted more ibex, but none were as magnificent as the one we tracked. Then it's back down more switchback roads. Back at the Lima Limo Lodge, we toast our success with Walia beer.